Thank you for coming to Compass Starlight. This is the midweek check-in. I have here the archetype deck from Magtega Tarot. All the cards were shuffled prior to recording. I also have the Goddess Oracle guidance cards from Doreen Virtue here. The first card pulled here from the archetype deck is the High Priest, card number 10. We have here Ishtar, boundaries. Love yourself enough to say no to others' demands on your time and energy. I do quite like that for today. Finally, this tarot deck is the Aquarian Tarot. We have the Page of Wands. In this deck, it is called the Page of Rods. Okay, the High Priest, card number 10, Ishtar, representing boundaries, and the Page of Wands. Card number 10, the High Priest, is an archetype for spirituality. Think beyond the everyday. This is coming into your higher power, connecting with Source, having a broader understanding that exceeds the bounds of this 3D world, which we call reality. There is more than meets the eye. There is more than our earthly experience, and there is a knowledge, like a database, that extends far beyond our comprehension. However, the High Priest has the ability to connect with that knowledge. The High Priest holds the key. The key that unlocks that book of supreme knowledge. Ishtar, from the Goddess Oracle deck, is a representation of boundaries. Love yourself enough to say no to others' demands on your time and energy. The message from Ishtar says, a sincere desire to give of service is wonderful. However, there's a distinction between giving of yourself and giving up yourself. If you feel tired, guilty, or resentful while helping others, then you're not truly helping them, are you? You're injecting poisonous energies into the relationship, and then no one benefits. Step back and reassess the situation. As you respect your own boundaries, others will begin to recognize and respect them within you, and within themselves as well. Now that's a healthy behavior to teach to others. Various meanings of the card include: you're giving too much, become more assertive, don't do things out of guilt or obligation. Ishtar has been worshipped and invoked since ancient Babylonian times as the embodiment of Venus's womanly energy. Ishtar represents the divine feminine in all of her aspects, including nurturing, mothering, sensuality, fertility, healing, protection, and wisdom. As a multi-dimensional goddess, Ishtar doesn't tire of helping the men and women who call upon her for assistance. And then finally we have the Page of Wands, the Page of Rods. This is a card about enthusiasm and inspiration. Pages are bringers of messages. They are messengers. The Page of Wands is free-spirited and filled with passion. They approach the future with enthusiasm. This suggests a positive, new impetus, a new start to something new, a new project, a new discovery, some kind of new excitement. It could also be an indication of new communication or travel. Collectively, what do we see here? The High Priest, inherent knowledge and wisdom from Source. Ishtar, establishing and maintaining boundaries. And enthusiasm, direction, inspiration. There may be some kind of event or circumstance, some kind of situation that arises in your life which shows you some kind of discomfort. The kind of discomfort which compels you to establish boundaries. You see a need and a reason for establishing boundaries. It is a way of protecting yourself. It's also a way of protecting your path. You have the bigger picture to see how other individuals who may be imposing upon your boundaries are pushing you around in an attempt to make you unstable. What I'm seeing is like a cork on water floats and drifts, and when waves come, the pressure, the impetus of the waves can push that cork along and it wobbles around. It also reminds me of an instance in which I had to bring someone's pet frog in an aquarium to a veterinary clinic. I think they were boarding their frog. Nonetheless, this frog was in an aquarium filled with water, and the frog was comfortable in the water, had rock features and so forth, and when it could touch ground within the water and hold on to those elements, it felt comfortable and stable. But as we drove, it was sort of sloshed around a bit in the water. I had to drive very carefully because that frog didn't really have any boundaries to hold itself stable. If you can picture the scene that I'm trying to paint. The frog in and of itself has a comfort zone and its own environment of stability. But when that environment becomes shifty, it loses its grip on its stability. You may be finding yourself going through similar circumstances that are akin, metaphorically, to that frog being transported in the water, sort of being shaken around, not shaken, but just, the frog was fine, believe me. But there may be circumstances in your life where something, another entity, which could be a group such as family or an employer, just the whole entity of your employment, the whole situation of it, or even school, a school dynamic, the situation it could just be an individual, seems to want to push you around in a way to impose their own beliefs, their own control on the stability of your life. And you have to stand your ground and erect and enforce your own boundaries. But you also have the wisdom of the high priest. You have that knowledge in this book to control how you behave, your reactions to this imposition. You also have the wisdom to see where this person, this group, this situation is being formed, where it's coming from and why. What is the agenda of this individual? What is the agenda of this group or this this entity, whether it is family or an employment situation? An outside force is trying to impose upon you their own agenda, and it's up to you. You have the wisdom of the high priest to know what is best for you and where you can stand your ground. And you're being asked to erect boundaries, to give yourself the maintenance of that stability you've made for yourself. And in doing so, you sort of gain that upper hand. You have the sight, the foresight, and you have that upper hand in the inspiration in putting that all behind you and focusing on your own path. You can move forward with your own stability, with your own inspiration. You can move forward with your own enthusiasm into the things that serve you and your life. But you're going to have to stand your ground a little bit and not let others, whether they are individuals or groups, try to sway you off your path. You'll have to maintain your stability yourself, and that will allow you to continue moving in that direction of inspiration, moving in that direction that gives you hope for your future, plans that you could see turning into reality, plans that you can pursue, and that may even be travel. They may be travel plans. They may be plans of communication. For example, if you've had it in mind to fill out an application for a job or a house or some kind of property or some kind of a loan, whatever it may be, paperwork, you've had it in mind to fill out this form of whatever, perhaps it's a contract of sorts, and you may have someone around you or a group around you suggesting that it's not going to work, you're not good enough, you don't have what it takes, you're not qualified, whatever it may be, an outside force trying to shift you and sway you from your stability, trying to shift you off your path. But if you can maintain your knowledge and wisdom and knowing yourself and establishing your boundaries, you won't be swayed, you won't be affected by these actions, behaviors, and reactions of others trying to impose upon you, and you can stay the course towards the goals to which you are aiming. There is quite a possibility of things working out in your favor, things working out as you would like them to. That inspiration. I might even pull another card on that. What might be the outcome if you can hold your course? Oops. Oh, should I take that one? I can't even read these. They're tiny. The Four of Wands. That's what that card is. Yeah, that is a positive outcome. That the Four of Wands is often seen as marriage. It's seen as the end all be all, but it's really like making it through that gate, accomplishing something. You've made it across that finish line and you get to celebrate. It's that feeling of satisfaction and completion. I like that this Four of Wands came out here on this message. This is very positive for you, but it may require you to sort of dust off the criticisms of others, dust that off your shoulders. Don't let that rain on your parade. And you may encounter those criticisms, but establish your boundaries with them, with whatever is imposing upon you. They may even be your own thoughts. In this card, there's this blue ribbon tied to the arm of the settee. Not settee, but settee. I forget what kind of chair that is, but I studied architecture and furniture at one point in my life. I don't recall. Nonetheless, there is this blue ribbon tied here, and blue is seen as the color of protection. It is a representation of protection. Also, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but on the settee, these ends here on the arms, they actually look like horse heads, which is rather promising because if we often see the horses with the knights moving forward, we see the horses with the chariot, the charioteer, and that's always a message about moving forward, pulling forward and going to victory, being on the move, going forward. That's what the charioteer wants. He doesn't want to stay still. It's just saying that you can pull through this. You can move forward. You're protected. You have that wisdom. You have the knowledge. This is good. This is good prosperity. This is going in the right direction. You just have to stand up for yourself. Be assertive. Don't let others bulldoze you. Don't let the criticism of naysayers sway you off your path. Okay, that's the message for the midweek check-in. Thank you for coming to Compass Starlight. I hope that message really resonated with you. And if not, hopefully you'll come back for a different reading in the future. Thank you.